Hello, welcome back to another drama. Yesterday, we saw a video went viral all over the social media of our angry community members busy beating up a school deputy principal, all because they have fined him or they had caught him with a school student having an intimacy affair. Well, I believe it have left many people wondering, what are we becoming in this country? Because at first, this student is supposed to be writing a matric, because according to the report that we have in our possession, this child, she's a matric writer. And at the moment, as we all know, the students, they are busy writing the matrix. So how possible is it that we have to sleep and wake up and find ourselves in such dramatic day whereby they have to court a man without his clothes on? Unfortunately, we can't show the video here because it's not allowed, but it is very disappointing and it is very shameful for us to be continuing seeing these kind of things, especially during this time of the day. This man, they caught him having an intimacy with this student. In this video, guys, we're going to discuss a little bit about what really happened. How did them even get to that point? As I said, normally, this child is supposed to be in school writing exams, but she has to be fined with another man who's supposed to be her role model. So we're going to discuss a little bit to tell you exactly what really happened and what will be the next step that need to be taken in all this, and what lesson you should take also from this, because this is what is happening out there. And we kind of like lucky enough to see all this happening or trending because someone took the courage to film that video and release it on social media. That is why now everyone are talking about it. What about those relationship or those teachers or principals who are busy going to bed with their students without them being caught by the communities, without them being caught by the cameras? What about all those people? So it is very important that we get to give you our analytics about this and tell you what will be what you need to take away from all this, because you might be watching that video but you don't know, perhaps your daughter or your son is being also a victim of all these kind of behaviors. So something needs to be done so that this kind of nonsense should stop to be happening most of the time. And in order for us to do something about this, then we need at least to look each other in the face and address the real problem. Tell each other the truth. Yes, because I know one thing about this nation is that whenever there's something happen, and the moment these things or problems start trending on social media or in the world of news, on TV, I mean to say, you get to see some people, they'll start pointing fingers. Some people, they'll start selecting who to blame and who not to blame. Yes, you know what I'm talking about. Example of the one of in your Beni Tavern, the 21 teenagers who passed on that night. You guys, you get to see how most of people, I'm referring especially about parents of all those kids, how they have to stand up and start attacking, accusing the owner of the tavern, running away from their responsibilities, forgetting that At first, if those kids have to be find themselves at Inyobeni Tavern dead, is because some of these parents, they did not assume their responsibility. To those who always watch my video, you guys, you remember I made a video back then when this problem of Inyobeni Tavern was taking place. I told you my point of view through my analytics. I tried to tell you what went wrong before even the police come and give the full reports, as we always do. And back then, some people, they thought maybe I was too harsh, because I could see how people, they were taking sides, looking for who to blame and leaving some other parties. And me, in my analytics, I feel like, no, I need to address the real problem, because that is how we can help the community, by speaking the truth. Even if it has to do with my own child, I need to acknowledge where I have done wrong in order for me to fix the mistakes, so that next time we don't see this kind of behaviors. And that is what I'm going to do again in this video. I am going to talk to you the truth. I'm going to tell you some of the things that will concern a lot of people out there. So, if you are a young one, you are busy writing your matric, I'll invite you to watch this video until the end, because we are going to have a very interesting debate or analytics through this video. Yes. Guys, the principal, they find him having an intimacy affair. In other words, he was having sex with his student. That's only the fact that they find them together. It has raised a lot of questions, and I have managed to write a couple of them down, so that we can go through this question one by one and try to understand how did even them get to that point. Yes, because I saw the Department of Education, they had received one of the people who are in charge, especially those who are in the community of disciplinary of teachers, on the TV, as they were asking him questions to know what is the point of view from the Department of Education so far. Well, the first things he said was like, no, they are regretting, because seeing this kind of things is still happening until now is very disappointing. We're not going to sit here and tolerate this kind of behaviors. We are actually trying to investigate this problem, because we would like to put it to you that this incident did not take place at school. It was outside of the school. So this man, he tried to tell us that where this principal, deputy principal, was caught with this young lady, it was not inside school, but it was outside school somewhere, maybe a guest house or a hotel, or by his place. So that already, it is already start taking another direction of the story, because there are now a lot of things which will have to be involved there. It is either these two people, I'm referring to this deputy principal and this student, two of them, there is possibility that they were having a relationship. Yes, like they love each other. Baby, I love you. And this was like, I love you too. So before we rush to the conclusion, let's try first to start from there. Yes, because if we have to find out where did them caught them, and who came up with that idea, how did them even end up being caught? Was it something that this young lady, she planned with the community members? Was it something that this relationship or this intimacy that they were having, was it something that they were doing it in secret, whereby they don't want anyone to know about it, and at the end of the day they end up being caught by the community members? That's another question. So we need to understand exactly how did them get to that point. Who came up with the idea? Was it, for example, maybe, should we say, was it maybe this lady, this young girl, she decided maybe to say that, no, this man has been raping me, or has been doing something against me? That's another question. Because right now, the Department of Education, they are trying to do the investigations. And for them so far, the only thing, according to what this man said on TV, was to say that they just want to confirm whether it was an intimacy relationship or whether it was something which was against the young lady, so that this principal will end up be caught like that. Okay? So, with that being said, my question to them, to the Department of Education, I just want to know, what if it happened that these two, they were in a intimacy relationship, they love each other? What then? What are you going to do? Are you going to leave this man free? What example are you guys going to set for the rest of the students and teachers and principal all over the country? Because these things is happening a lot. It's happening a lot even right now. I'm sure some of the principals and teachers, they are busy now telling the girlfriend or the boyfriend, those kids in school, that no, please, let's try to slow a little bit, because it looks like they have just caught one of us, so let us not try to expose each other. Some, they are busy doing so, and they'll do this for a couple of days and then they'll go back to the same attitude. Guys, the man regret about that relationship, and he had to go and try to find out whether it is they've been dating or whether they've been doing these things in secret. Well, that we are leaving it to the Department of Education, as we are not there. But our question here is just to know, once you find out maybe they were having a relationship, what will be the reaction of a Department of Education? That is what we would like to know. So, another information that we would like to share with you is that, yes, it is confirmed also by the Department of Education that this young lady, she was a student and she was residing in the camp, school camp, if I have to put it in that way. And for those who know, school camp is where is, a place where parents get to send the children to go be distanced from the family so that they can get to focus on their studies. Now here, tell me something. Now that this kind of a scandal, it is happening, whereby you see on social media that here's the man who've been caught with your daughter having a sexual affair. How would you feel as a parent? How will this girl's parent have to feel? That is where I want us at least to discuss a little bit. Because you are a young lady, your parents, they are suffering. Yes, if I'm saying they are suffering, it's because of the fact that each and every day they are waking up in the morning, going out, looking for a job or going to work. Sometimes they don't even get the time to come back home because they need to provide for you to go to school, my dear girl. They work hard. They manage to send you to the school camp so that you can focus. Perhaps you can pass this matric and win the bursary. One of this company or the government, they can take over and send you overseas to go and continue with your further studies, so that it will be a relief on your parents' side. Your parents will at least feel more released that, okay, now our daughter, she's somewhere and somebody is taking full responsibility to pay a school fees, now we can at least try to help the remains of the kids, or maybe try to do this and that. That is the reason some of the parents get to send the children at the school camp. Now, you young lady, you go there. See what you are doing. This man, we don't even know whether he's married or not. Because looking at his age and your age, it does not even sit. Yes, I know she's over 16 years, but you can't tell me that that man was just single waiting for you. So you went to the school camp for you to forget what was the reason of you being there. See some girls what they're doing. Is it because of money? Is it because of capello or whatever you guys you call it? Your parents are paying school fees, paying for the school camp and everything. This is the only way you feel like you can thank them, by disappointing them in such way, bringing such kind of embarrassment on your parents. Okay, let's say perhaps, for an example, maybe this man has been too harsh on you, trying to convince you with what he can do for you, or how it's going to change your life, or how it's going to make you pass the school, or whatsoever. At that age, a wise girl, you're not going to keep quiet. You're not going to keep quiet. You're supposed to speak out. If you don't trust social media, talk to your best friend who can help you out. If you don't trust your best friend, talk to your parents, because they're the one who've been paying all these fees. So you should go and talk to them and say that, okay, guys, look, at school where I am, I'm facing this challenge. There is this gentleman, deputy principal, is after me. I don't know what to do. Can you help me out? And your parents, they were going to see a proper way to deal with these matters. Either to approach the deputy principal himself through a letter and tell him to back off, or either they'll have to take other precautions. And trust me, it was going to work in your advantage, and this man was not going to do any rubbish. Because the moment your parents have to speak to him directly, telling him that, say, please stay away from our daughter. This deputy principal was going to back off immediately, because he knew, should I say, that if your parents take this matter further to his higher authorities, he's going to lose his job. But unfortunately, he did not do so. So, is that also giving people who believe that you had also something to do with all this scandal? Maybe they are also right. Because if you are doing something, you do it first time, you do second time, you do third time. Now that you guys are being caught on the camera, we don't know how many times you guys have been having these affairs all over. We don't have an idea how many times you've been screaming each other, oh baby, oh baby. We don't know anything about it, guys. So the matter have reached to this point. We don't just have to look on one side and try to be harsh on one side while there's something maybe wrong somewhere else there. Because we all know these girls, I mean to say, how they behave, some of them out there. Even the way they are dressing. You ask yourself a question, man. Hey, some kids are very lucky today. Yeah, the way they are living their life. And when I get to look our generation, the way we're growing up with our elder sisters, our elder brothers, the way they were dressing to go to school, the way things were happening back then is not the same way that things are happening today, guys. Whether we like it or not, but this is the truth. This generation is such a spoiled generation. They do what it pleases them. That is the reason why they get to even to describe them as a Android generation. Because in Android, with Android, you can get to do any rubbish you want to do. Anything you want to do. The Android generation. They are so spoiled. Which is more different than our generations. Yes, when I'm talking about our generation, I'm seeing 1990s going down. So if you are AMA 2000, please go away. This is not that does not really concern you. When I'm talking about our generation, we're taking 1990 going down. Perhaps I can even, when I say 1990, I'm saying like 1999, 98 going down, 98, 97, 1988, 86, 80, going down. But this one, 2000, I'm a 2K. Yo. Aye. These girls, they dress forgetting that they're going to school. They dress to seduce. Not only to seduce their fellow students, but they dress to seduce even the teachers in the class. That is the reason why you guys get to see a lot of bad things is happening in school nowadays. Where it is boys, they become criminals inside the school. You guys, you saw what happened somewhere in Eastern London, if I'm not mistaken, last week, where students have to go and stab each other inside the schools. Not even like in the neighborhood. Inside school, they went to fight there and they end up killing each other there. Now, tell me, what kind of generation is this? Student who goes to school now, after they come back from school, they don't even have time to do their homework. They don't even have time to do their assignment about what they had studied on that day. All they will do is to drop the bag or the books and disappear. You'll find them, some of them standing there by tucker shops, busy smoking yaupes. Girls, you'll find them, they'll exchange and put something on and going around talking with boys. That is what we are familiar of this generation. So there is a lot of bad things that is happening in our schools today. Your child is more educated perhaps when they are home, in your presence, under your guidelines. The moment she goes out, the moment he goes out, they have another education. That's the reason why myself, when I get to sit time to time, I thank God, because the school that some of us who did attend, it was just something else. You do nonsense, they chase you straight away. So when you are not home, the education that you fail to get home, you're going to find it at school. What about today? Because I just give you a very easy and simple example to understand about this affair before even I get to touch to the side of deputy principal. This child, she's not 12 years old, neither 16 years old. She's 19 years old, guys, for God's sake. That is how we get to see them getting pregnant before even they get to finish their matric. And the next things you are asking, where's the baby father? The baby father is nowhere to be found. Because the baby father is the person who used to teach her. Because the baby father is the deputy principal. And this deputy principal, what they will do, they'll take, if they see that, okay, now she's pregnant and I suggest her to do abortion, but she refused, what can I do? They will rush quick to go and see a family in secret and buy the family, buy the silence. They should keep quiet. Don't say much. I am here. How much do you want? How much is the damage? Oh, here's your money. Please allow me. Don't destroy my job. Look, I have a family to support. You have a family to support when you are busy destroying other people's family. Huh? How you get to think of your family after you have destroyed somebody else's daughter? You think that your money is more important to what you have caused as a damage in that family. And stupidly, most of these parents or family members, they like to buy these kind of stories. And they'll be like, okay, no, after all, there's a child who's involved. Okay, if we do this and they send him to jail, and if we go to jail, we're going to remain with our daughter, with our granddaughter, or our grandson, and we'll have to look after him. We don't have money. So since he acknowledges wrongdoing, he apologizes and is willing to cooperate and support the child and the pregnancy, let us just leave him. Oh, how can you leave someone like that? How do you know if this person, in order for your daughter to be pregnant, is because this person used to rape them? Is that how you are seeking justice for your daughter? Dear parent, someone you know that they have broke the law. Because even if you get to see in most of the companies, some companies, if I have to put it in that way, the moment you are signing contract, somewhere there they will be telling you that, look, here the relationship affair is not included. So if you want to have a relationship, if you want to have intimacy with somebody, do it outside of this company and not inside here. Because they know, and we all know obviously, that if you are working with your loved ones, someone that you have feelings for, if you are working with them one place, you will always not be focused, because you will always lose focus even in something small like this. So normally these teachers, these principals know already. If you want a man, you're not going to go for that small boy that you've been busy giving him too much benefit during your class course, or that girl. That's the reason why they don't even have a respect for you. Yes. Have you seen this kid from grade, shall I say, grade 10 going up? How disrespectful they are toward the teachers. They talk with them like a I don't know. They talk with them like small boy, like small girls. And when you feel like, no, it is because I don't want to be too much strict on my student and what. No, it's because they get to see you like they are used to see. They get to see everything actually. They know how you look behind the class, behind the suit that you usually put as a deputy principal, behind the ties that you usually tie. They know, they can see the men behind you. They can tell how you can get to screen. So if these people, they can know how you scream and how you do all those crazy things, they're not going to have respect for you. When they sit in their corner, having the conversation like little girls, you don't know who they're talking about. You don't know how they get to describe you. That is the reason why you get some of these students, they're even having, how do you call this, giving the principal and the teachers names, which you can't even recall that I'm the one that they're calling here. You don't even have an idea that this is the name actually these children have given me. All because you have accepted to lose your value. You leave the place that you're supposed to be holding, and then you go to lower yourself down. This child, her parents send her to school to come and learn from you. Now you feel like the right place that you're supposed to be giving them lectures, It was not in school. Instead, it was somewhere else, in your bed or in a hotel bed. What, guys? What's wrong with you? Huh? How do you even get the courage to take off your clothes in front of a girl that usually sit in the bench and you busy giving lecture? How do you do that? How do you even start? Can someone at least try to tell us more? Where comes this kind of courage? Someone who called you, with all due respect, Mr. Principal, before even they get in your office, you should see the way they are shaking. If you call them, maybe you want to give them a small work in the school or something that has to do with their studies, you see how they are so excited and at the same time being afraid, because if you call them for the wrong matter, they know that you will punish them. And if you are calling them for the right matters, they know that, okay, they are winning your trust. But how do you get to lower yourself to the point of forgetting that level that you are as a deputy principal and go start taking off your clothes? That is very embarrassing. You are destroying the whole generation. Now that your video went viral, what does your family have to say about this? Let's say this man is married. What does the wife have to say about this? What about your children? Because I believe you have children. And as I always tell you guys time to time in my videos, that there's a mistake that you can make in life and mistake that you can't make in life. Reputation is not something that you can buy. Reputation is just like a wire. The moment it cut off, if you try to join it, no matter how far it is, whenever somebody look at it, you will know that this wire, it was joined at this point. If it was perhaps like a beetroot on a white t-shirt, you can buy one of these, whatever you call it, something to wash it, or more, what? You put it in machine, you wash with your hand, and the next things, today, tomorrow, after tomorrow, it's gonna disappear. And your t-shirt will remain like nothing happened to it. But not with your reputation. Once you mess up, you mess up. And in the world of today, the moment your image goes on the internet, especially when it goes in the internet and it becomes viral, there's not where you'll take it back. Even if you go, you decide to delete the video. But if this video was useful to somebody, tomorrow you'll Google, you'll find that video still existing. And this time it's not going to exist under your account, but it will exist on somebody else's account. Because this person have believe and trust that this video have important information that they need. Besides that fact, once your image is already on the internet, you can delete it in your phone. You can delete it in your Facebook account, Instagram account, all these social media accounts that you had provided this video to. But you're not gonna delete it in the brain of each and every eye that have seen that video. Because when you put something in the internet, you don't know how many eyes get to see that video. You yourself as an individual, you have 2 eyes. And as you are watching me right now, I believe you are watching me with your 2 eyes. Now, do you know how many people who have to watch that video? So this man, he got caught by the community. They beat him up because of this shameful act he had committed. When they were beating him up, some of these parents, maybe they were busy beating him because they could see that this is something that he could have been doing also to my daughter. They are beating him up, showing that anger, because they feel like, okay, our children are no more safe in the hands of the school deputy principal, because these are the men who are supposed to be acting like kind of like parenting in absence of the real parent of these kids. Instead, they are turning them into their wife. Man, come and try with me. I'm telling you, I'll go to jail that day. I'll definitely go to jail. So they are busy you are busy doing those kind of rubbish, and you expect people to take it that lightly. I know you are so many of you. There are so many of them actually out there who does these things right now. Maybe some of them will try to play it in the low profile because they now, one of them got caught by the communities. But there are a lot of people who does that. How can you be doing something like that? Don't you feel ashamed? Don't you feel ashamed? So it's not the first case at all. Because I remember, even when they ask the Department of Education about to know this kind of case, is it the only one? And they're like, no, they usually get a lot of, complaints, but they never come to the point of arresting or finding someone that has been arrested by the community members. What safe should parents now feel about their children? Because if it happened like you are having this child, she knows too much already about life, and she's so desperate to go to bed with you. You as a principal, what can you do? Are you just going to let yourself that easy like that without even trying to help this child to come to a sense that she's there for school and not to be having an affair, especially intimacy affairs? A good principal or a good teacher, you take this child, you forbid them, you stop them immediately, you talk even to the parents, because right now everyone they get to see is the principal who's wrong. Do you know why now the principal have to take all this blame, whether it was a really serious relationship about these two people? It's because him is supposed to be someone like a parent, someone who's supposed to be protecting this child, but he forget to play his role. That is how he's taking out this blame. But in the beginning of this video, I show you and I told you there is possibility that this lady, she knew also what she was doing. As you even heard the education department saying that we'll have to investigate and know if it was a relationship or not. That simply means to say, if it is a relationship, they will immediately forget about it. They're not going to get interrupted. But is that okay? Is it that good for a teacher or a principal to be having intimacy affair with people? It's like a doctor having affair with his patients. Somehow, somewhere, it's not bad, but let us look in which circumstance and what age. Because right now, this lady, we are told that she's 19 years now. Yes, 19 years, she's old enough to make a choice. She's old enough to make her own decision. She can even stand in front of a parent and told them that, guys, this is the man I love, and this is the man I'm going to marry. No one will forbid her, even before the law. It is a right. But what guarantee do we have that this child was not be abused by this man? What guarantee do we have that this girl, she was not being raped all this time? Because remember, All these men who does these things of sleeping with small girls, they'll take a girl at a certain age, 12 years, 14 years, busy going to bed with them, putting them moral, destroying their mind, making them understand that, look, I'm the only man you have in your life. I'm the one who loves you. No one can love you better than me. No one, keep quiet. Don't say anything's home. Don't tell anyone. And these girls, as they do it at a certain time, at a certain point, they'll start enjoying. At first it was pain. The next thing is to be something enjoyable. And they'll make it very, very simple, and they'll keep quiet and obey to this man. As long he continues to buy them some chocolate, capellos, giving them something small. That is how you get to see most of these kids. They have been sleeping with their stepfathers, but they can't even have that courage to open their mouth and speak to their mother and say that, Mom, your husband has been doing this to me since when I was this age. Because they have passed that stage, now they're enjoying. At some point, they're even seeing their mothers as their arrival. So, this kind of people, they don't deserve to be forgiven. Instead, they have to be punished so that they can set a fine example. Because a lot of children out there that are being destroyed by this kind of people. So if it is allowed even to say that, no, this girl, she's over 16 and she can make her own decision, say, why can't you wait at least? Let her go even to the university. At a certain age, 22, 25 years, we can come and show up. I don't think there'll be anything wrong with it. Even in front of the parent, if you say that, no, say, yes, I know I used to be the teacher of your daughter in grade 6 or in grade 12 now, or I'm a professor at the university and I feel like I love her, this and that. I don't see anything wrong about it. Yes, I don't think anything wrong about it, because it can happen. For an example, like you are a professor in the university or in the high school somewhere at KwaZulu-Natal, and maybe you are just only 28 or 35 years old, and then you are looking for someone to marry, right? And then it happened that you find maybe this lady, since these days people were meeting on social media. No wonder. You know, back in days, if you are looking for someone to fall in love with, if you are a guy, I remember, well, when I talk back in days, some people don't think that I'm Madala. No, I'm not Madala, guys. I'm not Madala. I'm still very young. Never mind me. It's just that I'm in the generation of 1990 something going down. So for that reason, that's when I get to compare the two generations, you know, this generation and the one the one as we grew up with. I thank God for our generation. We were well raised. We were well disciplined. Yes, we know the manner about life, and not this generation. So when I'm talking like that, try to understand that's what actually I mean to say. So as I was saying, that back in days when we were growing up, if you want to fall in love with someone, if you're a guy, you need to make your own effort to go for this girl, the type of girl that you want, and seduce her and moralizing her and turn her into your girlfriend. Because back then, there were no these things called so-called internet. There were no Badu, there were no Tinder, there were no Facebook, there were no Instagram, there were no Twitter, there were not even, how to call this, the trending one, TikTok or YouTube. Nothing was not there. So you like someone, you go for her. First of all, you don't just go for fun, otherwise she's gonna chase you away. So if you like someone, you need first to know if she's going to school, what time does she go to school, where she's studying, if she's going for shopping, which shop does she go for shopping. You need to know the road that she takes, and you will have to go and wait for her somewhere a little bit far from the neighborhood which she lives. Because if you have to stop her from the neighborhood which she lives, even if she's interested in getting to know you, she's not gonna do so, because she don't want to leave that bad reputation whereby Someone will go and report back home saying that we saw your girl was visiting with this guy. No. But if it's a little bit far, she might even listen to you. Sometimes she can even allow you to walk along with her wherever she's going. But in our days, well, everything's happening in social media. You just go, you click on someone's profile picture, you look at them, you see whatever they have put there, whether it is makeup, whether it's what, then you give in, you accept, then you start complimenting them, then you start chatting with them, which is different. But by the way, it's still another way of people falling in love, because we still have people who find true love through in the social media. Now, if it happened that you are somewhere perhaps in KwaZulu-Natal, and it happened that you fall in love with someone who's maybe in Johannesburg, and this girl, she's still doing a matric and she's 19 years, I don't see anything wrong about it. You guys can go ahead after some times and you can follow the normal procedure, meet the family and do whatever they'll tell you to do, and then you can become a family. So there's a different, when you get to date someone in such condition while you guys are from two different places, then when you guys, you are in the same school camp and you are being the deputy principal, and this child supposedly to be your student, now you get to understand where people are getting angry, because obviously you can get to see that this principal used his power, his authority to over control this girl somehow, somewhere, regardless of what we can say or accuse the young girl. You see the difference? Now, unfortunately, that is still not the case with you. You decide to go and take advantage of this little girl. So let's wait and see what will happen. But guys, this need to stop. Where is you, the student who's watching this video? You must know that when your parents send you to school, they did not send you for you to go there and start smoking yaupe, or going there, start having fun with boys, or start dating your teachers or your school principal. They send you there because they are busy preparing a bright future for you. And you, only you are the leader of your own life. You are the only person who can make it easy for your parent to feel even more proud of you. Now, the moment you don't want to do this and you choose to do another things around because you are over 18, you are disappointing your parents. Look now what you have done. The image is now all over the social media. Yes, there is no any image of this young lady, but by now everyone knows who she is, because I believe she has social media. Even if she go to block a social media and everything, people knows who she is. Do you think people will still gonna look at her in the same way? Because now that the police is now sitting on this matter, which means this lady will have to confirm whether they were having a relationship with this deputy principal, yes or no. If the answer is yes, for how long this relationship has been going on? If she can be able to tell for how long this relationship has been going on, then they'll get to look now at a age, the age when she first started going to bed with this man. Was she still a teenager or an adult? That is another question. So, dear student, please know how to behave yourself. Know how to dress yourself. Leave these things of, now I want to look like that one, and like, no, come on guys. Have you seen how some of these girls, the way they dress?
You know yourself, you are having such a big body, yet you go in, you dress in the way that you can't even knee down and pick up something. Because the moment you try to make a small move like this, everything is out. Now, why do you have to do all this? And these things, when they are doing it with their conscience. They are all aware about what they are doing. Because that's what we know of most of ladies out there. No, I'm doing this today. Yo, I'm gonna kill them. Today they're gonna feel me. Today, ladies do plan. Guys, ladies do plan. When she sits in the mirror, you see herself looking herself in the mirror. When you think that no, she's busy fixing herself. No, she's also trying to see that, okay, which look should I suggest them today? Because today I want to have at least 25 guys who come and ask for my numbers. Ladies do talk through the mind. They do engage themselves in a serious conversation with their own thoughts. So please stop this kind of behaviors. You boy as well. Stop being, I don't know which word should I use, but stop being that crazy boy at school, because it is all about your life. So we don't want to be seeing this kind of students, especially girls, becoming the victims, or teachers, especially female teachers, become also victims in the hands of schoolboys who are coming and threatening you. When you are busy in front writing, them they are busy spying on your behind. We know that game. Some of them, they are even busy leaving you in the class just because they are so excited they have to go somewhere in the toilet. We know these things is happening a lot. So we don't want this kind of things to keep on continue. At least let us try to prepare for a better generation, for good kids who can come up with a clear conscience in what they are doing, trying to avoiding what is bad and considering what is good that will benefit them. If you are a parent, you have your little one, maybe they are now teenagers, try to talk to them. Try to talk to them, because a lot of parents are making mistake for the fact that they don't engage themselves in a serious conversation with their little one. Okay, fine. You don't do so. Where do you think your child is going to learn about it? Because we get to see some parents, the child will come and ask you, Dad, what is this? Instead of you calling it by its name, saying that my son, my daughter, this called this. When now you go, instead of saying it is eye, you say that no, this is the arm. You showing the child it is the arm. When the child goes out there, he finds those naughty girlfriends or boys. They have to come and poison a mind, telling her now the truth about what is this. When I mean this, you can tell already. I'm not here to be mentioning everything. I'm not here to be putting everything today, because we are not here to encourage the bad behaviors. So when your child goes out and learn it from someone else, they will never gonna come back home and tell you that, no, Dad, last time I asked you what is this, and when you told me that it is a harm. Instead, they will keep quiet, because now they know the truth. They became like Adam and Eve, knowing the truth of bad and good. They were quiet. And when God was looking for them, they were busy hiding, because they knew now the truth. So when your child, just because you don't want to educate them about life, just because you don't want to educate them about relationship and intimacy, because you feel like it is too embarrassing for you to be talking about it with your child, fine, you are doing yourself a good favor, but don't regret when the bad consequences start taking place. Because this child, they'll go out there, they'll meet someone who will teach them everything and take advantage of them. And when they'll come back home, they're not even gonna tell you the truth. How many kids, how many girls out there, they are seeing their first menstruation? They get to experience the first pain of period. Yet, they don't get even the courage to come and tell where it is the mother, where it is the father. Is it that they don't have their parents or their grandmother or grandfather that they can go and talk about these kind of things? No, of course. Most of them, they have people they can talk to. But unfortunately, these people have tend to be lions and detectors. If you try to open your mouth about such kind of topic, you'll be punished. So they'll be kind of telling you that this kind of topic does not concern you. They don't want to talk to you about it, but forgetting that there is friends out there who will help you to understand what is all this about. They've forgotten that there is internet out there and Android phones. Especially these days we are having Siris. Siri, please can you tell me when a man and a woman does, what happened? And Siri also does not keep secret. Wait a second, please. So those are the mistakes that some parent does. And it is for that reason why in this video I'm telling you, you my viewers, that if you are having your little one, that they are at a certain age, please, from 11 already, start talking about some things which you feel, not to destroy your child, but to help them understand what it is up to come on the way and how they can handle it. Yes, because if you put your child at 12, 14 years and say, my son, I know you are good looking. Sometimes you might find another girl writing you a letter saying that she have a crush on you. Please don't buy that. Because if you want to entertain those kind of letters, see what's going to happen. You will be distracted from school. You start losing. You're not going to do good. You're not going to be focused. This. If you rush, you start doing it in secret, the next things, this girl, she'll come and say that she's pregnant of you. And if she's pregnant of you, which means the man that are supposed to send you to school for you to become a doctor will have to go and look after this girl and your child. And that will destroy your life. You become homeless. You give the child example. I have to speak with your child about this kind of problems or issues. It will remain in the mind. The next time, they're not going to approach a woman. But if it happened that a girl from school or from the neighborhood or from church approach them and try to show interest in him, your child will get the courage to come back to you and tell you again that, Dad, look, when I was at school, look, when I was at church, this girl, she told me this, she told me this. And you know again how to talk to them. After a certain age, maybe your son is now maybe 20 or 22, then you can call them back. My son, I remember 8 years ago, me and you had a conversation. Do you still have do you perhaps still have good memories to remember what we had spoken about? No, Dad, I remember you told me to be running away from girls. Okay, my son, I know. Thank you so much for being so patient. I know kid of your age have done a lot of things. Look, example, that your friend, the one who told me last time, he pregnant a girl. Oh, you remember that your girlfriend, what, that girl who came to you, then you refused. The next thing you said that she was pregnant. Now, imagine if you did not apply my counseling. Maybe you're supposed to be the father. So I have just saved you from doing the wrong. So for that reason, I believe now you are at the right age. You have learned a lot from me. You are now understanding the true meaning of life. So at 22 years of age, you can go ahead and do something about your life. So if you find you find interest in any girl, you can go, but watch out this type of girls. That is how a parent gets to communicate with a child. And that is how a parent, especially a father, gets to raise a really true gentleman. You guys today keep on complaining, oh, men. Oh, men, I think men are like that because of the lack of that basic education. The basic education that a child, a son, is supposed to get from his parents. They never had it. Now, when they grow up, they end up turning to be animals who sees women in other ways. So, communication between parents, between a father and his son, is very important. What about little girls? This applies also to the little girls. Talk with your daughter, mama. Tell her the truth about life. Help her to understand. Because raising up a daughter is not easy. See what is happening out there. This world, girls are not safe anymore. So if you don't talk to your child and make them to understand what is happening out there, don't be surprised one day if you sit and they call you like the way they call the parent of those girls in your Benny Tavern. Or maybe they just bring a body of a little one, saying that no, she passed on. We saw her, the last time we saw her, she was with this guy. And the next things, we don't know what happened. Talk to your children, dear parents. Help your children to get to understand the meaning about life. Don't feel embarrassed or shame to talk about life education when it comes to your children. Speak so that your daughter, when she goes out and she has to meet this kind of a deputy principal, she'll come back immediately to you and tell you, Mom, Dad, look what this man is telling me at school. Look what this guy is telling me. He's been after me. I have told him that I'm not interested for sometimes now, but he never listened to me. And your parents, they'll see what they can do. But just because you guys, you are having that relationship of dictatorship, whereby whatever you say, you just expect everyone to say amen, like pastor in church. That is the consequences now. That is how you get to pay. So dear parent, try to play also your role in all this. You will see for yourself that this kind of behaviors, this kind of news that you are getting to see on TV, it will be reduced into small numbers, because we will be raising up responsible kids. My last part, obviously, I'm almost finished, but I just want to pass my message to the education department that if necessary, they should even ask the deputy in the parliament to vote a law that will know on how to treat each and every principal or a teacher who's misbehaving in such kind of way. Yes, if you want to have your relationship or romantic relationship with somebody, do it out. As I give you the example, be like you are from this school, but there's another school somewhere there, and you do not even know. It has to be like maybe you guys will met somewhere, and then later on you end up finding that, no, actually I'm still writing. And this one is like, no, me actually I'm a principal, but in this other school. That is more understandable than you guys being in the same school. It does not make sense at all. Because right now, all the girls who were in that school camp, they have packed their bags and leave. Because their parents are calling for them. Every parent now, they are afraid. What if this school deputy principal has been busy sleeping all our girls? Obviously, everyone will feel afraid of that kind of a person. So try to strengthen up your rules and try to condemn this kind of behaviors with all the energy so that it should not be repeated again. Thank you so much, guys, for taking your time to watch this video until now. I'm sorry my voice is not that good today, so I'm just trying because it is a trending topic or actuality that is trending all over, so we could not stay behind. Then that's why we say we should come and try to give you also our point of view through our analytics. So please, before you leave, do me a favor, give me your thumbs up, like this video. I'll really do appreciate. If you find anything interesting or something beneficial to you that you can take home with, then please do subscribe to the channel. That will do us very good. But most of all, comment down below. Tell us also what you think about this topic that we discussed this night. So we'll get to see you again in our next video. But for now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind to everyone, have respect in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.